Welcome inside the Acres Broadcast Center. I'm Tim Mulhaupt, and this is your Sports Nightly Ticker. Happy Tuesday, Huskers fans. Nebraska men's basketball guard Keisei Tomonaga has been selected to represent Japan in the 2022 Fiba Asia Cup, which begins this week in Indonesia. Tomonaga and Japan will take on Kazakhstan at 5:30 a.m. Central Time tomorrow morning. And if you're a morning person, you'll like this group stage that Japan is taking on. If you want to follow Keisei's progress, it's 5:30 for the whole week. They'll take on Japan after Kazakhstan will battle Syria on Friday morning at 5:30. And then on Sunday, they'll take on Iran also at 5:30. Husker Sportsmanship was honored last week by the Big Ten. The conference announced 28 winners of the Outstanding Sportsmanship Award, which recognizes a male and female student athlete from all 14 Big Ten institutions. Nebraska's winners were women's golfer Kristen Beatty and men's cross-country runner Mark Freyhoff. And one more congratulations to former Huskers bowler and current bowling assistant coach Julia Bond, who took home a silver medal in the doubles competition at the 2022 World Games in Alabama last night. Bond partnered with Shannon O'Keefe to earn her silver for Team USA. Over to pro sports tonight. It's a busy night in Major League Baseball, though the rain is trying to have other plans for the Bigs tonight, as two games currently in a rain delay, the Yankees and the Reds, as are the Mariners and Nationals. One game underway. Pirates and Marlins are scoreless in the bottom of the second. Just about set to get started are the Phillies and Blue Jays, as well are the Red Sox and Rays, and the White Sox and Guardians, who are getting ready to start their second game of the day of a doubleheader. Mets and Braves will start at 6:20. Brewers and Twins meet at 6:40. At 6:45, the Dodgers take on the Cardinals. At 7:05, the Orioles battle the Cubs. Also at 7:05, the Athletics take on the Rangers. At 7:10, the Tigers battle the Royals. At 7:40, the Padres will meet the Rockies out in Colorado. The Astros travel to L.A. to battle the Angels at 8:38. And at 8:45, the Diamondbacks take on the Giants in San Francisco. Only one final from earlier today, the Cleveland Guardians beating the White Sox in Game 1 of that doubleheader 4-1. And in case you missed last night's late-night action in the CONCACAF Women's Soccer Championship Group A last night, the U.S. Women's National Team took down Mexico with a goal from Christy Mewis in the 89th minute. That gives the U.S. a perfect 3-0 record through their group, Group A, and they will move on to the semifinals of the CONCACAF Championship this Thursday, where they will take on Costa Rica. That's the ticker. I'm Tim Mulhaupt, and this is Sports Nightly on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
In motion is Brewington. They snap it back, fake the handoff, looking to throw. They flip it out the flat to Brewington, makes a catch. Touchdown, Nebraska. Well, that looked easy that time. Brewington came in motion, and instead of cutting down the block, kept out the flat, flipped it out to him for an easy 6 points. And Treese now sends a man in motion. They turn, they flip it off to McDuffie, trying to race to the edge. Gets around JoJo Doma, but can't get around Nick Henrich. He'll go down. He'll lose 3 yards, back to the 23-yard line. What a play by Nebraska. It's caught. Touchdown. Omar Manning. What a grab in the end zone, and the Huskers have 6 more points.
What a throw and catch. Yes.
Nice jitterbug move, and it bouncing the outside 40 to the 50-yard line, to the 40, 30-yard line, 20. That's Grant, 15, 10, 5. He's in there. Touchdown, Anthony Grant, with an electrifying move at the line of scrimmage, scoots to the outside and dashes down the sideline.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody, on the Huskers Radio Network.
Thank you. Welcome to another night of Sports Nightly. Hope you had a great day today. So glad that you've joined us here for the next couple of hours. We'll try to keep you entertained and give you some information. Husker football inching ever so closer. We will have our continuation of our position breakdowns tonight. Talk about the defensive line. Mike Dawson, who handles the defensive line and the edge rushers. We're going to talk about just the defensive line with him tonight. We'll get to the edge rushers at a later time with Coach Dawson, but looking forward to getting into that. We talked to Mark Whipple last night about the quarterback position. So quarterbacks last night, defensive line coming your way here in a couple of minutes. Hour number 2, we're going to catch up with one of the newest Hall of Famers, Bruce Pickens, who was a terrific defensive back at Nebraska, 88 through 90. Ended up being the 4th overall pick in the NFL draft in 1991. Went on and played with the Falcons, who drafted him, and also the Raiders. He had some time with the Raiders. Looking forward to talking to Bruce from his home down in Atlanta. Bruce was a teammate, Mickey Joseph and Trev Albert. So let me drop a little question or two in there about those two guys with Bruce Pickens. And as always, phone lines, text lines open and available for you, 402-413-2400, the number to either fire off a text or give us a shout here on a Tuesday night. And we're also up on our YouTube channel as well if you want to get in there and have a chat with some Husker fans. They get into all kinds. They'll delve kind of into their own little show a lot of nights. Like stuff that we're not even talking about, but they get into.
Yes, yep. They just have their own conversations going, and it's a neat friendship group they've got going on. We have some people that are on every night, and yeah, they just carry on their own combos over there. They do. So have some fun. If you've never checked that out, it would be fun, I think, for you to be able to do some of that. The Big 12 Conference, that's the former home of the Cornhuskers. They had their start of media days today down in Dallas at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Day one of a 2-day affair for them. Baylor is the pick to win that league. How about that? Baylor, who last year made it to the Sugar Bowl, won the Big 12 title a year ago, picked to be the repeat champs again. You buying that? Yeah, I mean, I think just because of the unknown with Oklahoma and not knowing what they're going to have and how that all comes together with so many new coaches and players and bringing all that in. And Oklahoma State lost a lot. And so there's just a lot of unknowns in that conference. And so I think the most known is Baylor, you know, because even with Kansas State and Adrian Martinez going there, I mean, I think there's a lot of programs that are just people don't know about right now. And so you go with Baylor and that defense that's been locked down and how well they've played the last couple of years. That, to me, that's probably more of a safe bet than anything.
They got 17 of the 41 votes to win the league. OU, who Nebraska will play in late September, is picked 2nd, Oklahoma State 3rd, Texas 4th, Iowa State 5th. The Longhorns seem to have some momentum going, but they need to kind of prove it, I think, to a lot of people before.
They've had momentum going into every season for like 5 or 6 years now, and it never pans out. So, yeah, I'll believe it when I see it when it comes to Texas. But I was trying to think of the last time Oklahoma wasn't the preseason favorite.
Been a while.
I can't even. Maybe it was one year that they picked TCU. But it's been a while, and so just a lot of unknown with the Sooners. So
the new commissioner, Jessica, Brett Yormark, who came from Rock Nation, is going to talk tomorrow. Even though he doesn't start till August 1st, he's going to be there tomorrow and talk to the masses. Everybody can't wait to hear what he has to say. What's going on with the realignment? Where's the Big 12 of that? I'm anxious to hear that myself.
Well, and because we keep hearing that the Big 12 is trying to be aggressive and make sure that they are staying on the forefront of this deal and not being left behind. And so they've been putting it out there, hey, we're being aggressive. So I got to imagine that will be his messaging too, that, hey, we're actively seeking whatever he might say. But it's crazy to think about a year ago, Big 12 media days, Oklahoma, Texas go and participate, and they're talking about the Big 12 and rah-rah conference, and then a week later, we're going to the SEC.
The timing of that was amazing. But Yormark's an interesting hire because he's a guy who, he'd had some business dealings in the NBA, but working at Rock Nation, you probably have some pro sports clients. But I think more of them is for Jay-Z, right? That's who I think when I think of Rock Nation.
Yes, I do. And being like agents of representing players. But I think there's been a lot of issues with the teams and the schools in the Big 12 about the Big 12 Commissioner Bob Bowlesby not being at the forefront, kind of being a little bit behind the times and not foreseeing some things and even, NIL. There's a lot of things that they felt like could have been handled better at the conference level standpoint. And so I think maybe probably trying to bring someone in that's going to be aggressive and try to stay at the forefront of things and not let the Big 12 fall behind like they've done. Because the Big 12 did. They fell pretty hard behind the SEC and the Big 10 after the moves were made with conference realignment, and they did not stay up there with those two conferences.
K-State, you mentioned them earlier. They are bringing with them to Dallas Adrian Martinez. He will be one of their player reps to go there. I've not yet heard who Nebraska is taking to Indianapolis, but I would be shocked if it's one of the quarterbacks. I just don't think Scott Frost will do that.
I don't think so either. Because of the messaging that, hey, this is an open battle, and if you take one guy, then that kind of shows. And plus, not to mention, if you take a quarterback, they haven't been here that long. Normally you have a guy that's been around, been apart, you would think normally. But I know Oklahoma took Dylan Gabriel, and, with Kansas State taking Adrian Martinez. So, but normally that's not what you see.
Right.
A guy, even if it is a guy that is going to be the starter, that is, potentially maybe going to be a captain, you normally take guys that have been around and have been through the system and are already established leaders and have been a part of this program for a little bit.
We'll monitor that tomorrow and see what the new commissioner has to say from Dallas about the Big 12. And because Nebraska's long history with a lot of those schools, it still has an interest around here for that. Bill in Portland on our text line said, with a 16-team league, about how many conference games are we looking at playing? 9, maybe more? I don't think it'd be more than 9. It's currently at 9. I don't know that it moves from 9. I think it stays there.
I do too. I think when you're talking about a team trying to build and compete for conference titles, normally you look at having one pretty tough non-conference and then 2 games that help you build, help you establish, help you build some confidence, help you get some young guys in there. Because if you just go right out of the gate and you only have, because then you're not having those marquee non-conference matchups, would be my fear, is that if you're going to play a bigger and more games in the conference, then teams are going to schedule lighter in those 2 non-conference games.
Nebraska in the next decade is set to play Oklahoma a couple more times, Colorado 2 more times, and Tennessee home and home. I don't want those to go away.
No.
I want to keep those on there.
No, that's what's fun about college football, is seeing those marquee matchups from out of conferences and Power 5 matching up. And so, yeah, it's what's great about the non-conference, because then you get into the conference. So I agree with you. I don't want that to go away, and I'm afraid that it would go away if you went to a bigger conference schedule.
Yeah. What I do want, and this is my soapbox, and you've heard me, you're going to be tired of this, but I think all these big leagues need to play the same number of league games.
Mm-hmm.
The SEC right now only plays 8. Well, if we're playing 9 in the Big 10, and the Big 12 is playing 9, and the Pac-12 is playing 9, they need to play 9, and not just go play an FCS school one week.
Well, then they play high school JV team in the middle of the season in November a lot of times. So, yeah, I agree. There needs to be more parity in that. And maybe when we move to this setup where it's governing themselves, that could be something that is overall made a blanket, hey, this is what we have to do with our conferences to make it equal and even. Has there been any leaning towards what the SEC might do with the scheduling yet?
They have not?
No.
They've not played their hand yet.
Yeah. Well, they just, announced that they were staying at 16. So I knew the ACC came out, but I hadn't heard any rumblings about what the SEC might do.
Been quiet. I did read today SBJ, Sports Business Journal, which is a great publication. You can read a lot of their stuff online. They did say that the Big Ten has cranked back up again in their negotiations, that ESPN has come back with another offer.
I figured. I knew ESPN would come back. I knew they would. With USC and UCLA coming back to the table, I knew they wouldn't walk out on that.
They said that CBS has had a solid bid. Obviously, Fox has their deal kind of done. And that Apple TV is another group that has come back in after the announcement of UCLA and USC. I
mean, ESPN has to have, there's no way they just can't not be a part of something. They have to have their hand in every little thing. And so they do not want to miss out on potentially because it's proven. It's proven that the Big Ten brings in ratings. There's no doubt about it. They're going to have high ratings every single game. And so they don't want to miss out on that. Yeah. And it just, ups that ante when you throw in those 2 California schools.
Because in the Big Ten footprint, you have New York City, the number 1 TV market. Now you're going to have LA, the number 2 TV market. And you have Chicago, which is the number 3 market. You have all 3 of the big markets. You think about the teams that are coming into the Big Ten and the teams that are going into the SEC. And I get the SEC is the SEC, but how many times have we said the bottom is not very good and they don't have people that watch? But the Big Ten, to me, there's more intriguing teams year in and year out and matchups in the Big Ten from top to bottom than there are in the SEC. I agree.
Because yeah, you have your Alabama and your Ole Miss and your Georgia, and then you put in Oklahoma and Texas. But Vanderbilt,
Kentucky football doesn't move the needle.
No. So I'm like, I don't really care about those matchups, but I do care about, and every year there seems to be a surprise team in the Big Ten. But I do care about watching Ohio State and USC, or even it's going to be fascinating to see those California schools match up with a team like Iowa.
Correct.
So to me, there's more intriguing matchups that you're going to see with the addition of these two teams from California to the Big Ten than there are from Oklahoma and Texas going to the SEC.
I agree. Totally agree. All right, that's what we have on the program tonight. Again, if you want to be a part of it with a call or a text, the number is the same. We've made it very simple for you, 402-413-2400. We also want to tell you that they're still offering that customized Husker football game 3-game mini plan on sale for $180 a ticket. They've sold over 1,000 of these already for the season. You get to pick a game in September, October, and November, minus the Oklahoma game. But you can pick North Dakota or Georgia Southern in September, Indiana or Illinois in October, Wisconsin or Minnesota in November. The seats are located in the two end zones, the north and south. You put it together yourself by visiting huskers.com/tickets. So it's a pretty cool deal and a neat thing that the athletic department has put together. All right, last night, quarterbacks tonight, the defensive line, which obviously is a question mark for this football team going into camp here in a couple of weeks. Mike Dawson will join us next.
Hey Huskers fans, this Friday, join us for another encore presentation of Sports Nightly. In this week's episode, we'll hear from Huskers track and field high jumping star Jenna Rogers, Nebraska Associate Athletic Director of Academics Dennis LeBlanc, and new transfer guard Maddie Kroll with the summer basketball update. In Hour 2, we'll talk to new Nebraska Offensive Coordinator Mark Whipple, followed by new Huskers Volleyball Hall of Famer Christina Hotelling, and new dual sport freshman Maggie Mendelson, who gives us an update from Huskers Women's Hoops summer workouts. Tune in to your local affiliate or at huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we designed the Ford trucks of the future for everyone. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 45 years straight. Made for performance and capability on and off-road. Because the trucks of the future aren't designed for a few. They're built for America. Ford F-Series. Drive one today. Based on 1977 to 2021 calendar year total sales.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. Nebraska's new collaborative biosecurity lab is leading research to safeguard America's food supply against growing threats in partnership with the U.S. Departments of Defense and Homeland Security. The lab brings together world-leading expertise in agriculture and a deep understanding of the complexities of strategic deterrence across the threat spectrum and in multiple domains.
Hey Huskers fans, this Friday, join us for another encore presentation of Sports Nightly. In this week's episode, we'll hear from Huskers track and field high jumping star Jenna Rogers, Nebraska Associate Athletic Director of Academics Dennis LeBlanc, and new transfer guard Maddie Kroll with the summer basketball update. In Hour 2, we'll talk to new Nebraska Offensive Coordinator Mark Whipple, followed by new Huskers Volleyball Hall of Famer Christina Hotelling, and new dual sport freshman Maggie Mendelson, who gives us an update from Huskers Women's Hoops summer workouts. Tune in to your local affiliate or at huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts. Don't miss out on any of the action as your Huskers take the field at Memorial Stadium this fall. 2022 Husker football single-game tickets are on sale now for as low as $60. Want to get in on even more of the action? Upgrade to a customizable Husker football 3-game mini plan for only $180. To purchase your 2022 Husker football tickets today, or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets or call 402-472-3111. Go Big Red.
Did you ever buy something and get more than you expected? Emeritus offers insurance, employee benefits, and financial services, but we deliver so much more. The comfort of a human voice when you need it, the confidence of flashing a beautiful smile, the relief that your family can keep living the life they love, the serenity of knowing you've planned well and can enjoy life. That's what we really deliver. We call it fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services, and much more.
You always dreamed of owning your own farm. Now you're living your dream, and it's time to pick the tractor that makes it all come together. Massey Ferguson has reinvented what compact and utility tractors can be and redefined what they do, making them easier to operate, more comfortable to drive, more versatile than ever. Massey Ferguson gives Nebraska farmers the power and performance to win in the field. Osceola Implement in Osceola, Nebraska, your locally owned Massey Ferguson dealer. Proud supporters of the Huskers and Nebraska farmers.
When you're a sports fan, it's kind of like having a new love interest. You want to know all about them. Only instead of learning about someone's third-grade crush, you want to know the latest scores, stats, and lineups. To get that, you need Cox Internet. Cox gives you that window to look deeply into your beloved team's soul. Not to mention their injury list. Cox, we're sports 24/7. Learn more at cox.com/sports.
From sprains and stitches to sore throats and sinus infections, when it's care that can't wait, count on CHI Health Clinic Priority Care. Simply walk in 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. You'll get the quality care you need without an appointment, and you'll never pay more than a regular primary care visit. Get in, get out, and get on with your day. Find a location near you at chihealth.com/priority care.
Everyone knows that Dakota Mac is known for their great rates on long-term fixed ag real estate loans. But just how long-term are they? Well, even longer term than your first ride on the Gravitron at the county fair. And even longer term than the line to buy the corn dog you definitely shouldn't have eaten before you got on the Gravitron. Oof, so long-term.
It's Jim Persinger from Dakota Mac. Give me a call at 308-284-3260 to learn all about our competitive rates on 30-year fixed-rate loans.
Premier John Deere dealer supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more acres solutions for every field. We continue our position breakdowns. We're going to talk defensive line with Husker defensive line coach Mike Dawson. Spring was a challenge for you, I know, because you were thin in bodies, so guys got a ton of reps, which can be probably a good thing, I guess, and some guys got a lot more reps.
Yeah, I think it was a good thing. I think even the older guys that got reps, I think a little bit of changing, some of the techniques and some of the different things we're doing, I think was good. We did a good job as a staff monitoring exactly how many reps they were getting. So it's not like, one practice a guy got overloaded here, another practice somebody else got overloaded. We knew exactly how many they were getting, when they were getting them, what looks they were getting them against, to not repeat the same looks over and over again. So I think that probably for the growth of the guys, I think it was a really good thing.
Ty Robinson's all of a sudden become an old man in this room. He's the guy, right? I mean, he's the guy that's played the most football for you in that room.
Yeah, Ty's got some experience under his belt now. He's no longer the young guy trying to come up and break through. He's going to have a great season for us, and I think he knows that. He's ready for a big challenge. He's doing a good job in the weight room, and his body's continuing to mature and put that muscle mass on, and he's getting bigger and stronger. So doing a good job of getting physically ready to go that way. So we're looking for a lot of big things out of Ty this year.
You mentioned the term bigger, stronger. The strongest guy in his football team might be Nash Huttmecker. I mean, and he needs to take a big step, doesn't he, for you?
Yeah, I think with Nash, the weight room is something that he's done for a long time. His dad's a big, strong guy that was a power lifter, and Nash has kind of fallen in those footsteps. And his dad's done a tremendous job of kind of starting him off the right way and training him. Obviously, getting with Zach just kind of busted him through the roof with as far as how big and strong he can get. The thing that he's going to have to work on and do a great job with this training camp is changing and taking that weight room strength and applying it to the field. When you're doing those specific lifts in the weight room, it's great to have a great bench and a great squat and a great power clean. When you're playing football, you do all three of them at once. So now can you take all three of those, put them together at the same time? And he started seeing some flashes of Nash doing that this at the end of spring ball. And I think same thing as he continues to become a more matured guy with more reps, he's going to be able to do that a lot better.
When I talk to some of our offensive linemen, they'll say in practice, he's one of the harder guys to deal with. And he was such a great wrestler in high school. Can you see some of that wrestling ability when he's out on the football field?
Yeah, there's times where you kind of say, hey, those first two steps where you kind of launch yourself at the guy in wrestling. And I'm not a great guy with the wrestling terms, but I kind of saw him and Garrett after one of the workouts. They were kind of messing around in the Hawks, and all of a sudden, obviously two great high school wrestlers, and they kind of got in that stance. And Nash went right at Garrett, and it was about the fact it looked like a cobra coming out of the stance and going to strike. Hey, well, that's what we need to take and turn that over and get that as part of your get off on the football field. And I think that kind of clicked with him a little bit. So when he starts doing that, he's hard, especially if he's getting upfield and getting those O-linemen on different levels where they can't get a good double team on him. He's going to be a hard guy to move.
Yeah. Mosai Newsom's an interesting fella. I think he's already graduated, really intelligent guy. Can he be a guy that you can stick in some plays this year?
Yeah, and Mosai is going to be a guy that he really wants to have success. He's going to have a good training camp here, and he's continuing to work harder and harder all the time. And I think that, you mentioned him graduating. I think that's get a little bounce in his step, and he's got a little confidence from that. And, I think he's a guy that's got great upside athletically. He's really got some quick twitch, and I think he's starting to figure it out a little bit. It was great for him to get a lot of reps in the spring game, get out there and be able to do it. Now we're going to transfer that onto some consistency, and I think he's starting to understand how to take on blocks and how to stay on a man on a little bit better rather than trying to do too much where you're trying to take on maybe two guys at once or something like that. So if he can bring that confidence that he's got going with his athleticism, I think he's a guy that's going to be able to stack some reps for us.
And then, Coach, you've kind of had that next wave with Weaver and Buckley. Those guys, I mean, they've gotten their feet wet now, 1 year into college. Are you seeing some maturity out of those guys? Yeah, that whole year, especially for O-lineman and D-lineman, I think, and especially in a conference like this where, they kind of come in and they used to be in the big fish in the small pond, and all of a sudden they come here and even for the, we're talking about a, 330 and a 300 and, probably over 50-pound guy when you mention Ruquan and Jalen, but they are not the big fish in the little pond anymore, and it takes a little bit of getting used to. So I think that, those guys not only being big guys, but putting the, having the right kind of weight and being, getting stronger and being able to catch up with the speed that happens also with that size and strength. I think that's going to be a big deal for them. And they're guys that you have to continue to grow, and they can't get frustrated with the process, and got to keep working and learn from the guys ahead of them and put themselves in the position when it's their opportunity, they can help contribute. You went to the portal after spring to get some depth in there. Wynn is from Alabama. Obviously, they thought enough to give him a scholarship come out of high school. He's going to give a little depth for you, isn't he?
Yeah, I think that he's going to be a guy already who's made an impact in the room with just his football knowledge and, kind of IQ and knowing and understanding not only, where do I line up and how do I fit into this defense, but what's the offense trying to do to me as well? How does that help play the different blocks and understand the different schemes? He's got a great head on his shoulders as far as he's a really a guy that wants the knowledge. He wants to know what his position's doing, what are the guys next to him doing, what are the guys behind him doing, how does he fit into the scheme. So I think all that, and then obviously you had mentioned it, I mean, he's a physically gifted, big athlete. So I think all those things put together, obviously we're going to be looking for a lot out of him this fall.
Coach, every room on this staff, every room in this program has walk-ons, and you've got one in Colton Feast who's a guy that's just doesn't hold the sheet on the sideline. He's going to play football for you, isn't he?
Well, that's one of the neat guys, and you talk about the storied walk-on tradition at this program, and he's a guy that would fill right in line with that. Expecting a lot of big things out of him this spring. He was a guy that when my first year here, when I was the D-line coach, he was a walk-on, and he would come out and he'd hit the sled, and I think the sled would hit him back first, but it never deterred him, and it only made him want to do it more. And to be able to watch him grow and kind of come back and see him all of a sudden as a guy that was contributing and playing. That COVID year, he kind of, I remember the Penn State game. You guys saw him out there, and all of a sudden he started, making some plays and being a factor, and then, battled the injuries a little bit. But if he can have a year where he's healthy, he's going to be one of those guys that say, hey, this is a guy that we were able to grow in the program, and is going to be able to be a big factor for us.
All right, well, appreciate the rundown. Keep him healthy during camp. I know you got a lot to learn. You got some new faces in there to get them up to speed for a game early. Week 0, these Week 0 games will sneak up on us.
Yeah, it's going to be on us quick, and the guys will be ready to go.
Very good. Mike Dawson with us here on Sports Nightly. Time to tell you to buckle up, put the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. We have more Sports Nightly coming up next.
A DUI is everything you didn't prepare for. You did not save for it. You did not train for it. You did not go to school for it. You did not raise your family or buy a house or get a job for it. It is not your life goal or a dream come true. You have planned for everything in your life. You did not plan for a DUI. Get a ride. A DUI costs more than you think.
Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Hey Huskers fans, this Friday, join us for another encore presentation of Sports Nightly. In this week's episode, we'll hear from Huskers track and field high jumping star Jenna Rogers, Nebraska Associate Athletic Director of Academics Dennis LeBlanc, and new transfer guard Maddie Kroll with the summer basketball update. In Hour 2, we'll talk to new Nebraska Offensive Coordinator Mark Whipple, followed by new Huskers Volleyball Hall of Famer Christina Hotelling, and new dual sport freshman Maggie Mendelson, who gives us an update from Huskers Women's Hoops summer workouts. Tune in to your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red!
Preparation. It's the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Huskers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pregame routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it is safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief, nutrition, or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Whether you compete on the court, at the track, on the field, or in the fields, winning isn't just a goal. It's a mindset, shaped, honed, and defined throughout the season. That's why farmers pushing themselves to be the best plant DeKalb brand corn. Wherever you compete, winning has roots. Perform at your best with DeKalb. Always read and follow grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hey Huskers fans, this Friday, join us for another encore presentation of Sports Nightly. In this week's episode, we'll hear from Huskers track and field high jumping star Jenna Rogers, Nebraska Associate Athletic Director of Academics Dennis LeBlanc, and new transfer guard Maddie Kroll with the summer basketball update. In Hour 2, we'll talk to new Nebraska Offensive Coordinator Mark Whipple, followed by new Huskers Volleyball Hall of Famer Christina Hotelling, and new dual sport freshman Maggie Mendelson, who gives us an update from Huskers Women's Hoops summer workouts. Tune in to your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red!
Hey Husker Nation, this is Nick Henrich and I invite you to join me and the entire team for the 10th annual Nebraska Football Road Race just outside of Memorial Stadium on Sunday, July 17th. Help us race for a cure for pediatric brain cancer by registering now for the 1 mile or the 5K by going to huskers.com/road race. New this year, those who register before July 13th will be in a drawing to win game day tickets and other exclusive Husker memorabilia and experiences. Thank you for supporting this incredible event. I look forward to seeing you on Sunday, July 17th. Go Big Red! Hey Husker Nation, this is Nick Henrich and I invite you to join me and the entire team for the 10th annual Nebraska Football Road Race just outside of Memorial Stadium on Sunday, July 17th. Help us race for a cure for pediatric brain cancer by registering now for the 1 mile or the 5K by going to huskers.com/road race. New this year, those who register before July 13th will be in a drawing to win game day tickets and other exclusive Husker memorabilia and experiences. Thank you for supporting this incredible event. I look forward to seeing you on Sunday, July 17th. Go Big Red!
Nothing goes better with Husker sports than Fairbury. Fairbury, premium quality hot dogs deliver the home game experience to your family and friends. The highest quality beef, pork, and natural spices give you the best tasting hot dog and your hometown favorite Big Red hot dog. Look for Fairbury hot dogs all year long at your local grocery store. Fairbury, the official hot dog of the Huskers and Nebraska fans everywhere. At Great Western Bank, they understand what commitment to community means. It's more than setting up shop. For Great Western Bank, commitment means growing together and serving their communities. With more than 50 locations in Nebraska, they are dedicated
to making life great. Thank you, Lincoln, for allowing them to be a part of this great community. Great Western Bank, member FDIC.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. Nebraska researchers are designing the next generation of roadside steel barriers through an industry partnership with Trafix Devices. This partnership has produced the Delta Crash Cushion, a simplistic, effective way to keep drivers safe on highways. This barrier is vital for roadside safety and significantly improves the chances motorists will be able to walk away from roadside collisions.
Our Sports Nightly Hotline brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto family. Shop Woodhouse first. 18 brands, 16 convenient locations, simplified car buying to save you time. Shop finance, buy online at woodhouse.com. Greg Sharpe Jessica Coody with you here on a Tuesday night. Thanks again to Coach Dawson for coming in. We're going to have him back in a week or so to talk about the edge rushers, the outside linebackers, the edge rushers. He also handles that group as well. As when Tony Tuioti left after last season, Coach Dawson went back to that defensive line spot, which he coached in year number 1 when Coach Frost came from UCF to Lincoln. So I think he's kind of glad to be back in that role with the defensive line. He had an interesting spring just because Wynn was not here yet from Alabama. Drew was not here yet from Texas Tech. So they had to really worry about wearing those kids out that were here, because there weren't very many of them to rotate in.
Yeah, but they got a lot of great experience and got a lot of reps they might not have otherwise gotten. So probably in the long run, probably helps you. And to me, I don't necessarily get with the D-line as concerned about who's starting as so much as how many bodies you got.
Yeah.
Because you need a rotation. And that was what was so good about this defensive line a year ago is that they could run it out like a line change. And so it's more about the depth of that room than it is who specifically. So if they could develop that in the spring, and I think, to me, because when I was standing on the defensive sideline in the spring game, it just seemed like they were in such good shape by the end of the spring because they did have to play as much. Even though they were monitoring and making sure they didn't, overdo it, they still had a lot more reps than they would have gotten if they had the full room there in the spring. So I think they were in really good shape and learned a lot and grew a lot. You got to think that had to be one of the groups that grew the most during spring football.
Are we sure Ben Stilley is no longer on the team?
College forever.
College forever. And I know the coaches were disappointed that Damian didn't come back. I think they felt like he, with one more year, and looking back, it's hard to do this. Monday morning quarterback, he didn't get drafted.
Yeah.
So maybe he should have. It's too late now, but man, I'd love to have him here. But I'm excited about these new faces. They went out to the portal and helped themselves.
They really did. They really did. And I'm with you. I mean, I think, and Jeremiah said that from the start, that he didn't know if that was the right decision for Damian because he did show some really good flashes. If you put one more season together, you never know where Damian could have ended up, but ends up going undrafted. But I think they, made do, and even with the losing Casey Rogers, who you thought was going to provide depth in that room, maybe you improved with some of the guys you got. We'll see. Time will tell. But it was a big question mark after spring. Do they have the depth? Do they have the bodies? Do they have the talent? And now all of a sudden, you feel a lot better about that going into fall camp.
I sure do. You got a guy who's played a lot at Texas Tech and Drew, an Alabama player in Wynn. He didn't play a ton for the Crimson Tide, but he was, like I mentioned to Coach Dawson, a scholarship offer out of high school. They like something about him, so there's got to be some talent there. The Huskers redshirted a couple guys that did not play last year that we haven't seen a lot of. And for Nash Huttmecker, it's his turn. He's been here for a couple of years. He's strong as an ox. He can lift the stadium on his shoulders, so it's time for him now to go be a player in this league.
We've talked a lot about the matchups between the wide receivers and the defensive backs. Going into fall camp, it's going to be also intriguing to watch the battle between the O-line and the D-line, being that the D-line has some new players that the O-line hasn't seen, but then just working in some of those guys that are coming off the injury, just how they match up. And you got to think probably the D-line has the advantage going into it, but hopefully by the end they will have caught up to each other.
Yeah, that'll be something to follow. And we will hear from Donovan Raiola. I think next week is when we've got him scheduled to come on the program to talk about that offensive line. I know that's another big area of concern from a lot lot of you. Art in Los Angeles on our text line said, Greg, what I'm going to say is going to sound like I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, but doesn't it feel different this time? Why am I so excited about this season and feel like we're going to surprise with many victories? Is it the new coaches? Is it the great players that we've picked up from the portal, or is it because we are overdue? What do you guys, do you agree? Well, I think there is something about, it's kind of, Nebraska is kind of due to have one of those things where the ball bounces their way. Now, you have to make your own breaks. I get that in sports. But I feel like there is kind of a good vibe in the building. We've said this for a couple of months. Now, that could all go out the window if we don't go win in Ireland at the end of August. But I do think, Art, I'm kind of with you. I feel like there's going to be some good things that happen this fall.
I do too. There's just such a different feel. And I've said that, last year was my first time around here in an off season or a preseason and during fall camp. But I feel like it's different, and there's just such a level of motivation, of hunger, and the guys that have been here want desperately to turn it around, and the guys that are coming in want desperately to be a part of turning it around. And so you got a good balance of guys that are just super hungry and motivated, and it seems like building some chemistry, doing some stuff off the field, the things that you got to do that carries over into fall camp that leads into it. So, again, you got to put it all together, but it seems like right now they're doing what they need to be doing to set up for a good season.
I don't think there's any question, and we heard from one of those new coaches last night, and Coach Whipple, that group is pushed in some nice energy into the building. And guys that have come from programs that were winning. I mean, Mickey Joseph was at LSU. They won a national title a couple of years ago. Mark Whipple was at Pitt last year. They won the ACC. And so I think that you got some guys who I think have helped add some experience to the room. Rusty in Albuquerque. Guys, I enjoy your show. Is there any truth to the Big Ten giving Notre Dame 90 days to respond as to whether or not they want to join the conference? Rusty, I don't know anything for sure, but my guess is the Big Ten has given Notre Dame an open invitation. If you decide you want to come, you have a spot. That's my gut.
And I bet right now that people are with the SEC and working out this TV contract that right now it's just we'll see. But, yeah, I mean, I think Notre Dame is the one school that everybody wants, and that's who we're waiting on to see what they end up doing. But I would love to be a fly on the wall in some of the discussions that Notre Dame leadership is having about what their potential future landing spot could be.
Yeah. It just makes so much sense for them to be a Big Ten school. It just does. They're surrounded by Big Ten schools, all within 200 miles of that campus.
And to me, it's like you're going to make a lot more money than you are right now. So to me, it's more so it seems like it's an ego thing more of, hey, we're an independent, we can stand alone, than it is because if, most schools would chomp at the bit to have this type of money flowing into your athletics department. So the fact that Notre Dame is not jumping on this opportunity to me is more like, oh, you think it's that more important to be on your own, to say you're on your own, we're independent, we can stand alone, than it is to have this money coming in that benefits so many other programs and so many other athletes that it would benefit.
They are a member of the ACC for every sport but football, but I think they just fit so much better in my eyes with Big Ten teams than they do the ACC. But so there you go, Rusty. I don't have a solid answer. I don't think there's been a 90-day clock put on them. I would doubt Kevin Warren would go down that path. I just think it's probably an open invitation. If you want to come, we will find a spot in our league. For you. Nebraska 811 says, go dig red before you dig. Always call or click 811 to have your utility lines marked. It's free. It's easy. It's the law. Thoughts about Coach Dawson? Did you hear something in there that piqued your interest or spurred a question? Love to get your take on that at 402-413-2400 with a call or a text. Tomorrow night, we'll talk wide receivers. We'll hear from another one of the new coaches. Coach Mickey Joseph will be here. We'll talk about the wide receiving core for the Cornhuskers tomorrow night here on Sports Nightly. We're back to wrap up Hour 1 next.
Touchdown, Nebraska!
If you're doing business in Nebraska, the best way to connect your organization with the excitement surrounding the Huskers is through a partnership with Nebraska Athletics. You can take your business to the next level by reaching loyal Husker fans through in-venue signage, digital and social media, radio advertising, and more.
Got it!
Join the Husker team today and email partners@huskers.com to learn more about opportunities to connect with Husker Nation. That's partners@huskers.com.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy, from repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks, foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it is safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief, nutrition, or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
There is no place like Nebraska, and there's no place that treats you like home like Sap Brothers. For 50 years, Sap Brothers has fueled America's heartland and been a reliable partner to local farms and Husker fans across Nebraska, providing the highest quality fuel, lubricants, and propane, servicing your farming equipment and welcoming guests into their travel centers. Visit www.sapbros.net. Sap Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Husker Athletics.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card, free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
Don't miss out on any of the action as your Huskers take the field at Memorial Stadium this fall. 2022 Husker football single game tickets are on sale now for as low as $60. Want to get in on even more of the action? Upgrade to a customizable Husker football 3-game mini plan for only $180. To purchase your 2022 Husker football tickets today or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets or call 402-472-3111. Go Big Red.
Our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres. They are the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you. Coming toward the end of hour number 1 here on Sports Alley on a Tuesday night, 402-413-2400. The number for you to dial us up with a comment or question. Let's head to the phones. Debbie out in Grand Island's up next. Good evening, Debbie. Welcome to the show.
Hey, you guys, it's been forever. I haven't heard you, and last night I was on a different station. It's like, oh my gosh, is this the same? Oh my gosh. So yes, hi, I'm Debbie from Nebraska.
Hi, Debbie.
My question to you, of course, stems back to the fact that I turned 70 the day after the game in Ireland. Okay, and you guys really have wet my whistle. It's like, oh my God, maybe I really should go to Ireland. Never in the longest dream had I ever thought about going to Ireland. But, you know, how can you not watch your alma mater, Northwestern, and Lincoln at the same time? It just gives me goosebumps. It gives me really goosebumps. And I'm just so spectator. How are you guys feeling about going to Ireland?
So are you getting a ticket? Are you coming?
You got time to do this, Debbie.
I have no clue, really, honest God. That's why I kind of called, because, you know, actually, probably, I don't know anything, actually. And because I had some teeth issues, I had some financial issues, you know, it's like, oh, just put it on hold, Debbie. And then it's like, well, what am I going to do for my birthday? It's like, well, I can't have a big party because somebody might want to watch the game or something, and I want to watch the game. You know, why would I have a party then have people disrupt me because I want to watch the game? So, you know, that's actually also, I'm a big state center fan. And so, am I okay? Because I hear backlash. I'm okay. You're not.
You're doing great. Debbie, you're doing great. And if you decide to come to Ireland, have a great time. If you don't, throw a little party, have some friends over, enjoy the game, and tell them they have to be quiet while the game's going on. And then the commercial breaks, you can talk and visit and do all that. So I think that's the way for you to go. But there still is time. And Debbie, thanks for the phone call. There still is time for people to get tickets to go. There are tickets still available. We looked up some airfare a few weeks ago. It really isn't all that bad, so I think it's okay.
We need to figure out. I do think there was a deadline though to get them through Nebraska Athletics, from what I was told, July 11th. So you might have to look into other places to get.
You have to get it from over there.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Debbie, appreciate it. Thank you for the phone call out in Grand Island. I think there are probably a lot of people that are kind of on the fence right now about whether they want to go or not, and so. You know, I get that it's a tough decision, and it is a big financial commitment. I certainly know that it's not easy for people to do all that. Irvin Schuyler with a text said, with all the new faces, how likely is it that the team will mesh early in the season on the offense and defensive lines? It is crucial that they work as a unit. That's a great question, and that's what we won't know until we see this team play.
And it is. It's so huge and absolutely important. But that's where, you know, this first game makes it tough. You asked Coach Whipple about that last night on a team that is trying to develop the front, both the offensive line and the defensive line, to come out of the gate with such a big game. But if you come out of that one with a win, you have a couple more games to work through that and build that chemistry and build that depth and how they work together. So yeah, absolutely crucial. And that's one of the big things this team has got to figure out if they want to win multiple football games.
Irv, you just hit on what scares every coaching staff in the country, because a lot of times they don't know what it's going to look like for that first game. They're scared to death. So they're so glad. That's the old adage. It's an old cliche, but it's true. You make the most improvement from week 1 to week 2 because you figure out what you do well and what you don't do well, and everybody adjusts after that first game.
Yeah, so they'll have again, tough first game to go into and not know, but you know, it's absolutely critical that they do get that figured out. So
Brian in York on the text line says, so the media has no idea whatsoever that UCLA, USC are going to join the Big Ten, but after the fact, now the media happens to know everything that's going on in college football, what team is moving where and when and for how much money. Come on, I question all these rumors that are being discussed. Now, you should question a lot of these things.
Yeah, I actually have no clue.
Because nobody has any clue. But I do think it's pretty safe to say that the Big Ten would love to have Notre Dame as a member.
Yeah, I think that's evident. I think everybody would want to have every conference wants to potentially have Notre Dame. When we're talking about how much money, that's because it's based on the TV contracts. And we do know that the contract that's being negotiated for the Big Ten is close to $1 billion, which would mean if you divide that up, that's where you can get to what the money takeaway is for these programs. But as far as who's going where and when next, we don't know. And there's a lot of people trying to, come up with scenarios. But yeah, it's all hearsay. It's just fun to speculate.
Yeah, Brian, come on. You got to get, it sucks you in, right? People start talking about this. I'll read anything that somebody puts out about Conference realignment. I'll go scan any article that has those words in it.
Because it also is determining what the future of the sport looks like altogether. Also, it's not just about which teams go to what conference. It's also what is this sport, college football, going to look like.
But you're right to be skeptical. You should be, Brian. That's a good way to approach it, to be skeptical about that. Hey, our Sports Nightly hotline, it's been buzzing tonight. A lot of texts coming through. Keep them coming. It's brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto family. Shop Woodhouse, first 18 brands, 16 convenient locations, simplified car buying to save you time. Shop, finance, buy online at woodhouse.com. What a fun hour. Great to hear from Coach Dawson about the defensive line. Tomorrow night, again, it's Mickey Joseph. We'll be here to talk about the wide receiving core. That is a group that has undergone a major makeover since the end of last season. A lot of new faces in that room. We'll get the rundown from Coach Joseph tomorrow night on the program. Hour 1 done. Hour 2 to come.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Greetings, Husker Nation. This is Nebraska football running back Ramir Johnson, and I challenge you to join me and all my teammates for the Sunday, July 17th, Nebraska football road race to benefit pediatric brain cancer. Not only can you help race for a cure by registering for the 1 mile all 5K, you will get to meet the Huskers and be eligible to win Huskers football tickets and exclusive prizes. This is one of my favorite events, and I can't wait to see you on Sunday, July 17th on Stadium Drive. Register now by going to huskers.com/road race. Go Big Red.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. During the summer of 2021, 3 UNL students helped safeguard cattle across the state. Neely Anderson, Tatiana Jones, and Ashton Commons developed secure beef supply plans that prevent the spread of disease outbreak. The plans protect nearly 850,000 cattle across our state and provide greater economic security for this vital industry.
Save with low price lockdown from Hy-Vee. We've locked down prices on hundreds of your favorite everyday items. Prices are locked down for months and months on major leading name brands. The products that you like, the products that you want, and products that you'll want to stock up on. And all of the prices are locked down until we unlock them and lower them even more. Low price lockdown. Deals you can't beat anywhere. Only at Hy-Vee.
Welcome inside the Acres Broadcast Center. I'm Tim Mulhaupt, and this is your Sports Nightly Ticker. Welcome into Hour 2, Huskers fans. Nebraska men's basketball guard Keisei Tomonaga has been selected to represent Japan in the 2022 Fiba Asia Cup, which begins this week in Indonesia. Quite a time difference there, as Tomonaga and Japan will have 3 games at 5:30 this week, 5:30 in the morning, that is. The first is tomorrow morning when they take on Kazakhstan. Then on Friday morning, they'll battle Syria, and then meet Iran on Sunday morning. Again, all 3 of those games, 5:30 a.m. If you want to follow Keisei, maybe even just the box score, it'll be bright and early on all 3 of those mornings. Husker Sportsmanship was honored last week by the Big Ten. The conference announced that of the 28 winners of the Outstanding Sportsmanship Award, which recognizes a male and female student athlete from all 14 Big Ten institutions, Nebraska's winners were women's golfer Kristen Beatty and men's cross-country runner Mark Freyhoff. And one more congratulations due to former Huskers bowler and current Huskers bowling assistant coach Julia Bond, who took home a silver medal in the doubles competition at the 2022 World Games in Alabama last night. Bond partnered with Shannon O'Keefe in earning her medal, that being, again, a silver for Team USA. Over to pro sports tonight, Major League Baseball. A lot of games underway now. Yankees and Reds still delayed, but underway in the 5th now are the Pirates and Marlins. Pirates playing a lot better they of late after a really rough start to the year. They're up 3-1 over the Marlins. The Mariners and Nationals still in a delay. The Blue Jays lead the Phillies 2-1 in the top of the 4th. Scoreless in the top of the 4th are the Red Sox and Rays. The White Sox have a 4-0 advantage over the Guardians in Game 2 of their doubleheader. That's in the bottom of the 3rd. In the top of the 3rd, the Mets and Braves are scoreless. The Brewers battling the Twins. It's 2-0 Brewers, and that one's in the top of the 2nd. Just heading to the 2nd, the Dodgers and Cardinals are scoreless, and the Orioles and Cubs also scoreless. That game just starting as we speak. Also just about set to get started with their first pitch are the A's and Rangers. The Tigers and Royals will be a few minutes away out in Kansas City. The Padres take on the Rockies at 7:40. The Astros battle the Angels at 8:38, and the Diamondbacks meet the Giants at 8:45. The only previous final today, the Guardians topping the White Sox in Game 1 of their doubleheader 4-1. And in case you missed it, in women's soccer late last night at the CONCACAF Women's Soccer Championships, it was the women's U.S. national team taking down Mexico. This disqualified Mexico from the Women's World Cup, as in the 89th minute, it was Christy Mewis who scored the game-winning goal. The U.S. winning again 1-0. That gives the U.S. a perfect 3-0 record through their Group A at the CONCACAF Championships, moving the Americans onto the semifinals this Thursday against Costa Rica. That's the ticker. I'm Tim Mulhaupt, and this is Sports Nightly on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
In motion is Brewington. They snap it back, fake the handoff, looking to throw. They flip it out the flat to Brewington, makes a catch. Touchdown, Nebraska. Well, that looked easy that time. Brewington came in motion, and instead of cutting down the block, kept out the flat, flipped it out to him for an easy 6 points. And Treese now sends a man in motion. They turn, they flip it off to McDuffie, trying to race to the edge. Gets around JoJo Doma, but can't get around Nick Henrich. He'll go down. He'll lose 3 yards, back to the 23-yard line. What a play by Nebraska. It's caught. Touchdown. Omar Manning. What a grab in the end zone, and the Huskers have 6 more points.
What a throw and catch. Yes.
Nice jitterbug move, and it bounced into the outside 40 to the 50-yard line, to the 40, 30-yard line, 20. That's Grant, 15, 10, 5. He's in there. Touchdown, Anthony Grant, with an electrifying move to the line of scrimmage, scoots to the outside and dashes down the sideline.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Here we are back for hour number 2. Going to hear from Bruce Pickens, one of the newest members of the Hall of Fame for Husker football, coming up here in just a little bit. He played from 88 to 90 for the Big Red, a terrific defensive back, the 4th overall pick in that NFL draft that year. He ended up having a good career in the National Football League. Looking forward to catching up with Bruce here in just a little bit. Also, you can be a part of the show either with a call or a text. A lot of text tonight. Good stuff coming in at 402-413-2400. I wanted to hang Tim on here because Tim and Andrew, I don't know why, they're both Pittsburgh Steelers fans. And there's controversy. There's controversy around the Steelers as they announced yesterday that they're changing the name of the stadium. It's been Heinz Field since it opened 20-some years ago. It's not going to be Agrisure Stadium. Even Ben Roethlisberger is not happy about this. Tim, what's going on back there?
I'm really curious to see how Ben Roethlisberger handles retirement, because he's always been very, very good at the passive-aggressive comment as a player. And now as a retired legend for the organization, I feel like that those training wheels are coming off. He can just speak his mind. So I'm kind of with him on this. I will give him that. Since I was about 8 years old, I think that's when Heinz Field opened. It's going to be really hard for me not to call it that. It's just kind of a letdown. Now, the one silver lining to this is going to help them pay some of those young guys they're going to have to pay in a couple years. They paid T.J. Watt. They paid Minka Fitzpatrick. I don't know what the terms are of the naming rights agreement. I saw.
I have it.
You have it. Okay,
Yeah.
you have the numbers. I didn't see the total yet.
15-year deal. So it starts this year, and it's $3.8 billion.
Wow.
Wow.
Well.
So, but that's just the stadium name. Could they still name the field?
Ooh.
Probably.
That's a good point.
Because you have to have an easier name than that.
I did see Art Rooney. He said today that they're hoping Heinz can still be a partner, because a lot of fans, this is Pittsburgh for you, a lot of the diehards are really upset that the ketchup bottles above the end zone are going to come down.
Those are classic, though.
Those have been staples. And it's kind of, I always liked it because Heinz Ward was my favorite player growing up. He's a receiver, tough guy, great player, underrated. And, you know, Heinz Field just felt so right because of that. And, but $3.8 billion, I mean, I'd let some ridiculous names get up there for $3.8 billion. I don't want to blame the Rooneys on that one.
Big Ben tweeted, "I can't believe it. Doesn't seem right or real. Home will always be Heinz Field. I will never forget the last game and all the amazing fans. Forever Heinz."
He gets the last win at Heinz Field because he won there against Cleveland.
That's right.
So I saw a lot of people tweeting that yesterday. So he gets at least that little piece of history there as he went out. He gets the last win at what was Heinz Field. So.
Speaking of Cleveland, I didn't know this. You guys all knew this earlier today before the show. I'm like, wait a minute, Cleveland and Charlotte are playing the opening game? So Carolina, not Charlotte, but Carolina, and that's where Baker's at. That's going to be wild.
That was the big thing about when the news broke, that the Browns are going to be paying him to try to beat the Browns.
First game of the year. How great is that?
Yeah, but I honestly don't know if Baker will be the starter for that game. I think it'll be. They said today that the organization said that it's open competition, but I wouldn't be surprised if Sam Darnold starts the season and Baker just takes over if Sam starts struggling. But yeah, that was the big storyline, is that trade happened, and then here comes, and you know, Baker is notorious for playing with a chip on his shoulder and being mad and being fueled by all that doubt and the haters and all of that. So yeah, that was a big storyline.
He had a really good quote too, and I'll give Baker Mayfield that. He speaks his mind, and he said something to the effect of, "I'm not going to be a cookie cutter, a robot," I think is what he said about this. He goes, "I'm not going to lie, I have that date circled on his calendar."
Steelers going with Trubisky?
Yeah, I think so. I think it makes sense. Canada is in his second year as offensive coordinator there, and I'd rather let him test his ideas out on a veteran rather than throw Kenny Pickett in.
Or Mason Rudolph's there, right?
Right, and they're both ahead of him right now on the depth chart, which is Steelers. That's what they do. Roethlisberger was fourth string when they drafted him, so that's quite the changing of the guard.
NFL camp's open, what, in 2 weeks?
2 weeks,
right?
2 weeks, yep.
Pretty much everybody's going?
2 weeks.
Forever Heinz.
Andrew's here. I hear him
I just
clapping.
don't like the. I mean, I get it. It's business. You get more money. I get it. But man,
I didn't know the $3.8 billion.
Well, that's what they said that they're now. That's their outside revenue coming in. It's It's more than $3.8 billion.
Wow.
So maybe that's not all them, but that's a big chunk of it. So that's huge. All right.
Speaking of stadiums, Baker said that he will not be doing the Progressive commercials. So
he's out on those.
That's what he said.
Well, he was.
Well, no more At Home with Baker Mayfield. So he said that today, but he said he wanted to do a moving away version, but it didn't work out.
That would have been kind of a good closure to that whole ad campaign, though, wouldn't it? To have him kind of act like he's leaving the stadium and closing the doors.
I doubt the Browns would be.
Well, they probably don't even
probably
use
wouldn't
that
work
stadium,
with him.
do they? They probably. I don't know. Maybe they do shoot it there, but
I don't know.
They could pick another NFL stadium and just not show what it is. Speaking of fans coming to stadiums and all that, we have a fan day. It's coming up July 26th and here at Memorial Stadium, 6 o'clock at night. It's a 90-minute session, 6 to 7:30. Come out and get your Huskers autographs to come in here. That will be a fun night. Hopefully it's not too blistering hot, but there you go, July 26th.
Yes, finally announced. And again, all these things as we get closer to the season being confirmed. And so it's always a fun night. That was one of the first things I did, and interviewed some of the kids about some of their projections for the season. It was hilarious. And so hopefully maybe get to do a bit of that again as well.
On our text line, my question is, what's the latest on Kayla Caffey? Can she play this fall? We are still awaiting official word. John Cook did an interview with a local TV station and just said it's complicated. So we don't have anything more to tell you on that. We are going to hear from a new Husker volleyball player here this week, right?
Yes, we're going to have Caitlin Horde in studio tomorrow, so we'll hear from her tomorrow night.
Looking forward to that. She was a terrific player at Penn State. And if Caffey, if there's an issue, Caitlin Horde's probably your starting middle.
Absolutely, yep. And always good to have that depth in competition. And we saw even, Caffey working alongside Lauren Stivrins, and how there are some times that Kayla Caffey's big plays change the trajectory of a game.
Sure
so
did.
Hopefully they can figure out, what the issues are there and get her on the court. But they have reloaded, as they always do, and have brought in some players, but then I also think the growth of some of those freshmen. So it's, as we heard JB say when he was on here in studio, probably going to be preseason #1. When does that normally come out?
Mid-August.
Yeah.
It's probably 2 weeks before the start of the season, so we're still a month away from that coming up. But I don't know how they're not. With as much as they have back, they got to the national title game a year ago. I got to believe, and Wisconsin lost a lot.
Yeah.
So,
for sure.
Should be a fun year. The schedule at least is out now. We don't have some times and TV information that's still to come, but at least the schedule is out, and you volleyball fans can kind of get in your calendar so you know when the home dates are, and get all that figured out. It'll be here before you know it as well. John Cook wishes it was here sooner. He's still fighting the fight to get more practice time before the season than what the current NCAA model allows. They usually start about a full week after the football practices start. And rightfully so. He's like, I need more time to get my team prepared for the season.
They can't work it out at all with the coaches in the month of June or July. Why? And what's crazy, because men's and women's basketball can.
Football can to a certain degree.
Football can, and that just started. And so that's the argument with a lot of these volleyball programs, is that now that football can have those practices, and then also I think they got 3 practices taken away to their preseason too. So they got less practice time. Football got more. So yeah, there's a lot of upset volleyball coaches across the country.
Basketball's been doing this for several years now. Where they've had ample time to work.
At least 6 or 7.
6 or 7, and football just now. And even Mark Whipple last night said that he really can't be out there. They can be on the field with the players, but they can't be out there with the ball.
Yeah.
Something goofy like that.
Yeah, there's some regulations to what they can and cannot do. And it doesn't sound like, when talking with players, it's, I don't even think can they even have pads on? I don't think they can have pads on. So it's very limited, but you can still have instruction from your coaches on the field. Whereas if you've got a volleyball, you got, Kennedy Orr wants to
be out there with Kelly Hunter,
practice and go through and work through some stuff with a outside hitter with Lindsey Krause. They can't have a coach in there.
Just doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
It really doesn't. Sam in Omaha goes, hey, any chance of hearing from the McBucket brothers this summer? Trey or Bryce?
McBuckets. Hey, Andrew liked that one, by the way.
Oh, Andrew, is he here?
He came back, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. He's a big fan of the McBuckets brothers. In fact, you missed this. He's changing his loyalty from the Lakers to the Clippers because of Trey McGrowans.
I'll believe that when I see that.
He firmly said no. But Trey is playing tonight. So we'll see if he gets. He only got 3 minutes, I think, of playing time the other night, but maybe he'll get some more playing time tonight.
So Sam, we'll reach out there. Particularly, I'd love to hear from Bryce just to get his thoughts about being drafted, what draft night was like, and all that.
Which, by the way, the new episode of The Place, originally I was told it was going to be on Husker Wrestling. I do know that's in the works, so that will be coming up at some point. But this week, they're releasing a new episode of The Place, which features Bryce and draft night. So that will be fun to see and how that all went down. But, yeah, hopefully, and they're so great and responsive that, once they get done with Summer League, we'll definitely try to reach out and see if we can hear from them.
We'll get that on our to-do list moving forward. Last night, I've not watched a lot of the Summer League action, but I did see some clips today. Richard Jefferson, the former player, very good NBA player, now does some commentating for ESPN. He went through a referee's training camp and then actually worked the game last night. I thought that was fabulous. I really enjoyed that.
It really was, and what a brilliant idea, and just a way to, because, you know, referees, you don't know a lot of times who they are. Sometimes maybe fans will get to know a few of them, but, you know, you never hear from them or their perspective. And so to have a personality go through it and then to be able to talk about it and give a perspective about it, it was brilliant, and also in a way where it can be a little bit fun and entertaining. But he went through, I think, 5 days worth of seminars and stuff. And you know, my brother, as a Division I referee, has to go through that. And they'll break down all kinds of video and scenarios, and you talk through it and break it down, because there are a lot of gray areas that you go through, you know, and certain things of what you do when and where. There's so many, and that's what even Richard Jefferson, he's like, I've been around the game my whole life. I've covered it. I played it. And there are so many things I didn't know that I learned by going through that. And so what a great idea. I thought it was awesome, too. I didn't watch when it was going down, but I watched some of the clips that they put together of him, you know, when he was out there wearing the mic and talking to some of the players, and it was a great piece.
For all the people that sit there and criticize officials, if you ever had to try to officiate a game yourself, you probably would never yell another thing at an official.
Yes, absolutely.
You just wouldn't. It's hard. It's really hard. Crypto in our chat room says, hey, great to hear that Andrew's there. Has he signed up yet for the road race?
Andrew?
I think it's a big no.
He said no. I don't think he's going to be in town on Sunday, so...
he's going to be out of town.
Backing out.
That's too bad.
I challenged him. I said, I will pay for your entry fee if you run it, but I expect you to go win it. I expect you to go win the 5K if you're going to represent HRM. But, you know, because, you know, he brags all the time about his athletic prowess.
I wouldn't like
but
his odds.
He's scared. He's not going to be in town. So.
I would not like his odds on that. Hey, buckle up with the phone and a reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. All right, we're going to take a break, come back, talk to Bruce Pickens, former Husker great, now going to be a member of the Nebraska Football Hall of Fame. We're going to catch up with him next.
Welcome to Ag Answers. Today we're talking about renewable biofuels like corn ethanol and soy biodiesel. Electric vehicles continue to make headlines as we look for ways to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. But did you know by using ethanol, you can reduce greenhouse gas emissions by up to 46% compared to traditional gasoline, and by up to 86% when you use biodiesel compared to petroleum diesel? Locally produced biofuels are the here and now solution to combating climate change. They are good for our air, good for our wallets, and good for Nebraska. This message is brought to you by Nebraska's corn and soybean farmers.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. The university has a new undergraduate business and law major. Students majoring in business and law are learning to use legal knowledge to better solve business challenges. They are also gaining skills in regulatory compliance, financial services, securities regulation, and corporate social responsibility. Upon graduation, they will boost the state's talent pool in these critical areas of expertise.
Hey Huskers fans, this Friday, join us for another encore presentation of Sports Nightly. In this week's episode, we'll hear from Huskers track and field high jumping star Jenna Rogers, Nebraska Associate Athletic Director of Academics Dennis LeBlanc, and new transfer guard Maddie Kroll with the summer basketball update. In Hour 2, we'll talk to new Nebraska Offensive Coordinator Mark Whipple, followed by new Huskers Volleyball Hall of Famer Christina Hotelling, and new dual sport freshman Maggie Mendelson, who gives us an update from Huskers Women's Hoops summer workouts. Tune in to your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red!
At Nebraska, our people will always be our greatest asset. Day by day, donors give our teams the best opportunity to compete and win through their generous donations. Our vision for the future is ambitious and requires help from those who want to see Husker athletics excel at the highest level. Go big and join thousands of other Huskers Athletic Fund members with your gift today at huskers.com/donate. Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hey folks, this is Famous Dave. You know the difference between an ordinary get-together and a famous one? At most parties, the food's pretty forgettable. But imagine your table loaded with award-winning barbecue, chopped pork sandwiches, roasted chicken, and mouth-watering juicy ribs. From birthdays to corporate events, any size groups, we'll customize our menu to fit your budget. Make your next get-together fun and famous with catering from Famous Dave's. Visit famousdaves.com.
Hey Huskers fans, this Friday, join us for another encore presentation of Sports Nightly. In this week's episode, we'll hear from Huskers track and field high jumping star Jenna Rogers, Nebraska Associate Athletic Director of Academics Dennis LeBlanc, and new transfer guard Maddie Kroll with the summer basketball update. In Hour 2, we'll talk to new Nebraska Offensive Coordinator Mark Whipple, followed by new Huskers Volleyball Hall of Famer Christina Hotelling, and new dual sport freshman Maggie Mendelson, who gives us an update from Huskers Women's Hoops summer workouts. Tune in to your local affiliate or at Huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we designed the Ford trucks of the future for everyone. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 45 years straight. Made for performance and capability on and off-road. Because the trucks of the future aren't designed for a few. They're built for America. Ford F-Series. Drive one today. Based on 1977 to 2021 calendar year total sales.
If there's one thing that you can count on every spring, it's that we're going to have to deal with some hail. J-Tech Construction is the company to call to make it right again. J-Tech Construction specializes in siding, roofing, windows, and gutters, even solar. They're trained for insurance claims assistance, and they can help with your insurance company. Turn to the team the Huskers turn to, J-Tech Construction. Use your favorite search engine to find J-Tech Construction online and schedule a free estimate today.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy, from repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks, foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Hey Husker fans, this is Anne-Marie from the Nebraska Beef Council. Just like the Big Red wins on the court, you can win at the dinner table with great tasting beef. From steaks and roasts to ground beef and kebabs, there are countless ways to create a meal that will have your family cheering for more. Visit beefitswhatsfordinner.com for easy beef recipes, cooking tips, and meal inspirations. Beef, it's what's for dinner in Nebraska.
Brought to you by Nebraska's beef producers and their beef checkoff.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres. They are the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Last night on the program, we told you about the newest additions to the Nebraska Football Hall of Fame, and we are thrilled tonight to be joined by one of those new members, and that is Bruce Pickens, who was a tremendous corner for the Huskers, 88 to 90, a couple of first-team All-Big 8 selections, and then was a top 5 pick in the NFL draft in 1991. Bruce, congratulations. Thanks for coming on. What does this mean to you? What about this thing?
To be honest, I was kind of shocked. You know, it's been a while. I had some great years at Nebraska. I really appreciate, just being there, being able to play with the guys and that camaraderie I had with those guys. So, but it was an honor, but it was a little bit of a shock because it's been a while.
Well, it's well-deserved. You were just a tremendous football player in Nebraska and then went on to have a nice career in the National Football League. Bruce, I want to just ask you, how did you get here? Tell me your recruiting story. How did you end up in Lincoln?
Actually, I came from junior college first. I went to a high school where the football program really wasn't that great. I think my freshman year, we hadn't won a game in like 8 years. We was on like a 48-game losing streak, and ended up going to Coffeyville Junior College. So I went to Coffeyville Junior College, got redshirted my first year there, ended up playing my second year. We actually ended up playing Nebraska's JV team. So I kind of put myself on the map in that game. I think I had 3 interceptions, 8 tackles in that game. So that kind of put me on the map for Nebraska recruiting.
Who recruited you then? You remember which coach did?
Oh, definitely. It was Ron Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the man.
He does tend to make a pretty good impression on people. Wasn't your position coach then George Darlington?
Yes. Yes.
George always wore funny hats, didn't he?
Yeah. He always wore funny hats, and had a little of a quirky personality a little bit, but we got along really well. He demanded the best out of you, though, and that's one thing I appreciated about him.
Speaking of demanding, everybody from your era that I talked to talks about how demanding Charlie McBride was, your defensive coordinator. You got any memories of Charlie running around on the practice field and yelling and screaming?
Oh, definitely. But you know what? That was fun, though. He'll get up in your face and challenge you a little bit. You know what I'm saying? A guy like myself, I needed that. So to me, it wasn't really anything really bad about it or anything like that. It was football. It was, bringing out the best in you, get in your face. Let's see what you got. So I loved it. It brought out the best in me. So I really appreciate Charlie McBride.
We're visiting with Bruce Pickens, who's one of the newest members of the Nebraska Football Hall of Fame. Bruce, what were practices like? I mean, you guys were so good. Your teams were so good. I got to imagine practices getting ready for the week might have been as difficult as the games you played in.
Yeah, practices, for me, practices were fun. I mean, we went at it. When the ball was on the other side of the field, you had to run to that side of the field. It wasn't it was tough. It was tough. I remember Morgan Gregory, Richard Bell. Those were some good receivers back then. When I first got there, they showed me some things, you know what I'm saying? They let me understand that I've moved up a level. So those guys really put some work in on me, and it got me a lot better.
Did you do ones-on-ones a lot? Because nowadays they don't do that a whole lot. Did you guys go best against best?
Oh, yeah. We did that at least a good 20, 30 minutes. They don't do that anymore?
Not as much. No, not as much.
Yeah, that's the fun part. That's when you can talk a little trash, So we definitely did that. That was probably one of the best parts of practice there, because it's challenging man to man. So,
give me a game or two that stick out in your playing days here. Some game, maybe an Oklahoma matchup, maybe a Colorado game, maybe it was a bowl game. What games come to mind for you?
Oklahoma State. We played Oklahoma State at Oklahoma State. That kind of stands out for me. I remember I got that big sack on Gundy and shook that ball loose. So that one stands out. Also, another game that stands out, probably first time playing Oklahoma. I wasn't starting. Lorenzo Hicks and Charles Fryer were starting, but I used to watch those games all the time with my family. And I knew my family was at home the day after Thanksgiving watching that game. So I remember that very vividly because, like I said, that was always a big tradition in my family, in my house. And to be a part of that with Nebraska was a great honor.
Bruce, you were the number 4 overall pick in that 91 draft. How much did playing at Nebraska and playing for Charlie McBride and George Darlington, how much did that prepare you to play at the next level?
It prepared me a lot to play at the next level. Like I said, Charlie always pushed us. In the NFL, they push you as well. So just the scheme, because when I was recruited there, Nebraska actually played a lot of zone. And during my recruitment there, I asked Charlie McBride and George Darlington if they would be playing more man-to-man, because that was more of my style. And actually, they said that you're just the kind of corner we're looking for, because we're going to play nothing but man-to-man and do a lot more blitzing. So, so when I got there, the first year we did a little bit of it. The second year, we played man like maybe 60-70% of the time. So they did a great job in preparing me for the NFL.
Do you stay in touch at all, Bruce, with any of your teammates from your days here in Lincoln?
Yeah, I stay in touch. Reggie Cooper, Mickey. I talked to Mickey when he got the right before he got the job in Lincoln. Kenny Wilhite, Reggie Cooper, Eric Anderson, Mike Crow. So yeah, I keep up with those guys.
Did you ever get blocked in practice by Will Shields? I mean, maybe he never got to your level, but that was a heck of a player on those teams.
Yeah, Will never got me. You know what I'm saying? No, he never got me. So I was pretty good at dodging those tackles and guards when they pulled. So, yeah, Will never got me.
Very good. Well, Trev Alberts is the current athletic director. He's a little bit younger than you, but you were teammates for a couple of years, weren't you?
Yeah. When I was there, Trev was just moving up the depth chart. He was playing behind Jeff Mills, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I remember Trev. I know he was always a great athlete, and he was just kind of getting into his own. So, yes, I remember Trev.
Well, Bruce, congratulations again. So well deserved. We hope you make it back to Lincoln for the ceremony in early September. I got a feeling that the coaches McBride and Darlington might be around here. Even Coach Osborne usually makes an appearance. But we hope we get the chance to see you when you come back.
Oh, you definitely will see me there in Lincoln in September.
Again, congratulations, Bruce.
All right, thank you.
There he is, Bruce Pickens, a two-time first-team All-Big 8 selection for the Cornhuskers, one of the newest members to the Nebraska Football Hall of Fame. He joined us on our Sports Nightly Hotline, brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto Family. Shop Woodhouse first, 18 brands, 16 convenient locations. Simplified car buying to save you time. Shop, finance, and buy online at woodhouse.com. Our hotline number, 402-413-2400. If you want to dial us up with a comment or question or fire off a text, Jessica will rejoin me next.
Let me grab my car keys and we'll roll.
We still going to that new bar downtown?
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. Lexi, give me driving directions from home to downtown Bar District.
Autocorrect. Suggest Uber. Pick up, home. Drop off downtown Bar District.
No, I'm driving.
Suggest the Metro bus. Departing in 12 minutes.
Huh. Point taken, Lexi. We'll grab a ride.
If you drink, don't drive. Decide to ride. Brought to you in partnership by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and Uber.
Want to get all the latest Husker news straight to your phone? Need to be the first of your friends to get the scoop on all things Huskers? Sign up for text alerts from Nebraska Athletics. Text Huskers to 83200 to get game time notifications and updates, breaking news, special ticket offers, and more straight to your phone. All the Husker news is just a quick text away. Just text Huskers to 83200. Standard text messaging rates apply and may vary by carrier.
Hey folks, this is Famous Dave. You know the difference between an ordinary get-together and a famous one? At most parties, the food's pretty forgettable. But imagine your table loaded with award-winning barbecue, chopped pork sandwiches, roasted chicken, and mouth-watering juicy ribs. From birthdays to corporate events, any size groups, we'll customize our menu to fit your budget. Make your next get-together fun and famous with catering from Famous Dave's. Visit famousdaves.com.
The Nebraska FFA is growing leaders
and building communities.
Together, we are strengthening agriculture.
The Nebraska FFA Foundation believes in our future leaders and the communities they serve. We believe in the future of agriculture.
Join us in the I Believe in the Future of Ag campaign. Learn more at neffafoundation.org. This message is brought to you by Bayer, Science for a Better Life, and DeKalb.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Celebrating 50 years in the commercial real estate development industry in Omaha and nationwide, Noddle Companies is proud to continue its tradition of supporting Husker athletics. Check out what's new in Omaha, which includes revolving recreation and the food hall at Zone 6 in Exarban Village. Another exciting project coming soon are the Blackstone Urban Row townhomes. Noddle Companies, creating long-term value through community development. For more information, visit noddlecompanies.com. Go Big Red.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Nick Henrich, and I invite you to join me and the entire team for the 10th annual Nebraska Football Road Race just outside of Memorial Stadium on Sunday, July 17th. Help us race for a cure for pediatric brain cancer by registering now for the 1 mile or the 5K by going to huskers.com/road race. New this year, those who register before July 13th will be in a drawing to win game day tickets and other exclusive Husker memorabilia and experiences. Thank you for supporting this incredible event. I look forward to seeing you on Sunday, July 17th. Go Big Red.
Hey Huskers fans, this Friday, join us for another encore presentation of Sports Nightly. In this week's episode, we'll hear from Huskers track and field high jumping star Jenna Rogers, Nebraska Associate Athletic Director of Academics Dennis LeBlanc, and new transfer guard Maddie Kroll with the summer basketball update. In Hour 2, we'll talk to new Nebraska Offensive Coordinator Mark Whipple, followed by new Huskers Volleyball Hall of Famer Christina Hotelling, and new dual sport freshman Maggie Mendelson, who gives us an update from Huskers Women's Hoops summer workouts. Tune in to your local affiliate or at huskers.com or by using the Huskers mobile app. Go Big Red.
Let me grab my car keys and we'll roll.
Are we still going to that new bar downtown?
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. Lexi, give me driving directions from home to downtown bar district.
Autocorrect. Suggest Uber. Pickup. Home. Drop off downtown bar district.
No, I'm driving.
Suggest the Metro bus. Departing in 12 minutes.
Point taken, Lexi. We'll grab a ride.
If you drink, don't drive. Decide to ride. Brought to you in partnership by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and Uber.
They say if you listen hard enough, you can hear the corn grow. It's true. When you're out in the field, you understand its challenges and what it needs to thrive. Channel Seedsmen bring insights from the field to our team of Bayer plant breeders. Their knowledge inspires our product development. From your best ground to your most challenging conditions, our products are designed to perform in your fields. Visit channellistens.com to see our latest innovations. Always read and follow IRM where applicable, grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
We're back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center. It is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres Solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you. Hope you enjoyed hearing from Bruce Pickens, Husker defensive back, two-time All-Big 8 DB, going into the Nebraska Football Hall of Fame. We've got invites out to most of the rest of the class, so hoping to hear from those guys in the coming days. Maybe it may take a week or so to get everybody on, but we'll try to cycle our way through. Those guys are going to be honored at the Georgia Southern game, which is part of that 3-game mini pack being offered by Husker Football. Chance for you to customize a 3-game mini pack where you pick a game from each of the months, either Georgia Southern or North Dakota, Indiana or Illinois, Minnesota or Wisconsin. Those are your choices. Seating located in the north-south end zones. It's $180 per ticket. You can put your own package together by visiting huskers.com/tickets. We have a fan day. It's coming up on the 26th of this month, 6 o'clock to 7:30. So put that on your calendar if you want to come out and get some autographs from some of the Husker guys. So hopefully that'll be here before you know it. And the road race is Sunday. How about that?
It's almost here. We had a few people come on last week talking about it, but in case you are on the fence and want to be entered in those potential to win all those cool prizes, the deadline to be entered into that is tomorrow at about 5 o'clock.
Okay.
So you'll want to get on that if you're probably going to come and want to be a part of that. But it's such a great cause. And, one of the things that didn't get into a lot with some of the people that we had on was just the access to the players. This is about the one event, the best event that you can have, that up close and personal experience, the exclusivity of getting to interact with them of any time during the year. So many of them, and they are open and they like hanging out with the fans. And so this is about the best experience that you're going to get all year to get to know some of these guys. Yeah. So it's a great opportunity to spend some time with the team, but then also it's just such a great cause, and it means so much to this football program, to this athletics department, to be able to give back in that. So come on out. I'll be out there. Andrew's backed out of running in it, but I'm not running in it.
How convenient for Andrew to be out of town.
Yeah, right? I mean, I thought for sure maybe he'd try to set a record. I was going to try to get the numbers of they've tracked the best times in that deal.
They do.
I was going to see if maybe we could match that, but I don't know. I'll have to throw my cheering behind somebody else. We'll see who's running it when we get there.
I need Andrew to pop over here and join the program here for a minute. But it is, again, the deadline tomorrow, 5 o'clock. It is a wonderful cause. It raises money for pediatric brain cancer and goes to the great folks up in Omaha at UNMC who do so much work with pediatric brain cancer. So it's a wonderful cause, and this football program does wrap their arms around this.
Huskers.com/road race.
Very good. That's where you go find to get yourself signed up. Again, 5 o'clock tomorrow is the deadline for that. All right, you two are much hipper than I am, so I need some help. This is a slow sports month, right? I mean, there's not a lot going on. I mean, the NFL camps haven't opened yet. You do have Major League Baseball, a little bit of golf. The NBA Summer League's going on, but that's just stuff that holds your attention for about 5 minutes. So what's happened is the creation of Shark Week. You two need to tell me, why is Shark Week such a big deal? It's like the Discovery Channel runs all this. The Rock is going to be a big part of this thing. Came out today that he's going to be a big. What is the fascination with Shark Week?
Throughout the past years, I have not been big on it, but when I was back in college and in high school, it was a huge deal.
Oh,
Shark
it's
Week
not
was
everybody.
a huge deal.
Everybody I know watches Shark Week, but I don't like it. It gives me nightmares. I don't like to see seals and stuff getting eaten.
Yes.
And the other, precious sea animals. I don't like to see them getting attacked by sharks, so I can't watch it. I've never watched a Shark Week episode in my life, but I know a lot of people that are all in on this week.
Well, it's a big Discovery Channel thing. In fact, I saw them tweet out today that the big lineup, and it's coming up not this next week, but in 2 weeks, and that they've got Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. He's going to be a big part of it. I mean, there are programs every night for and ESPN2 is going to do something with Shark Week now.
No way.
That they've announced that they're going to jump on board of this whole thing. What? And I guess I missed this.
That might be the first thing ever.
No, I'm
being on ESPN.
Not a fan, and I have to change the channel when they have commercials promoting it because, again, I don't like to see them attacking things, and so I'm definitely not a fan of Shark Week.
I can't be tuned in all week, but 2-3 days.
Maybe you can
constant.
watch this year. That we'll give you that assignment, and then you can let us know what the fascination is.
Tracy Morgan is a big part of this thing.
Okay.
Tracy Morgan.
You know
The
who Tracy
Rock.
Morgan is?
Oh yeah.
Well, the
Amazing
first
actor.
show
He's a
on the
hilarious
24th
comedian.
at 8 o'clock on Discovery Channel is Great White Battleground. I mean, that's got to be video of sharks going after each other, right? Or something.
I mean, I like it. I'm going to watch a little bit of it this week.
Hey, did you see the nominations for the Emmys? I didn't.
I did. I saw some of those today.
Any surprises?
Ted Lasso did really well. I think it got 20 nominations again. So the 60 Minutes had a great piece about Ted Lasso Sunday night.
Is that soccer on Apple? I haven't
it's
seen it yet.
It's Jason Sudeikis' show.
He's a soccer coach?
He's an American football coach at Wichita State who then gets hired by a professional team in Europe, and he doesn't really know anything about soccer, but he goes over there to be the coach.
Okay, as long as it's about soccer, I might be watching it.
It's not really about, yes and no.
You'd probably like it, though.
I know. He's a great actor, so.
Oh, it's a great, I love
would.
it. It's a great show. It's on Apple TV.
Okay.
But yeah, the Emmys had come out, and it did pretty well. So did Ozark, got a few nominations.
Great
So
show.
did Stranger Things, which you're a huge fan of. Great
Yeah, I was going to say Stranger Things is.
Are you into Stranger Things?
Nope.
I will. I'm going to get it.
you.
It's on my menu, but I haven't got to it yet.
Just start the pilot. You'll love it. I promise.
Nah, I don't know. Not my cup of tea.
Okay. You say that now.
It's
I got my
pretty-
dad on, and he's hard to
Jack
get on
Mitchell
something.
from our affiliate here in Lincoln, KLIN, said he binge watched the first 3 seasons of Stranger Things last week, and he said he couldn't turn it off.
Best series
So
on
family
Netflix.
was out of town. He goes, I'm going to try this thing, and he said he couldn't turn it off.
Husker Nation, if you have not seen it, Stranger Things is the best series on Netflix.
Really?
I promise.
Better
Best
than
series.
Ozark?
Better.
Wow.
He planned his week around when the next season came out, right?
I kind of did.
He did.
I did. I
And
was really
then
ready for season 4, and
he
I got
watched
to it, and I
all of
watched
it.
it in the day.
So,
And it was a full. The episodes were 2 hours each.
You watched them all in
watched
one
the whole
day.
thing. One day. One day, y'all.
I can't do
day.
that. I can't sit that long. I'll try to pick them off in a couple of weeks, but
I mean, that's what kids do now. They just sit and they'll just binge watch a TV show. That's kind of what they do. Like the Shark Week, they'll just go and sit and binge watch the whole series from the start to the end.
nice shirt, by the way.
I appreciate it.
well, thank you for shedding a little light on Shark Week because it has become a big deal in this month, which again is kind of people are looking to be entertained.
It's a yearly deal, and there's a lot of publicity, a lot of promotion, and but I haven't seen a single episode. So
I haven't either. I'm with you. I don't seeing sharks attack things is not really on my bucket
I like
list.
it.
That does not surprise me.
You should watch it.
That does not surprise me that you do that. Maybe there are a lot of Shark Week fans that are out there. I don't know. Hey, buckle up with the phone down. A reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. 402-413-2400. We're back with more coming up.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we designed the Ford trucks of the future for everyone. Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 45 years straight. Made for performance and capability on and off-road. Because the trucks of the future aren't designed for a few. They're built for America. Ford F-Series. Drive one today. Based on 1977 to 2021 calendar year total sales.
Don't miss out on any of the action as your Huskers take the field at Memorial Stadium this fall. 2022 Husker football single game tickets are on sale now for as low as $60. Want to get in on even more of the action? Upgrade to a customizable Husker football 3-game mini plan for only $180. To purchase your 2022 Husker football tickets today or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets or call 402-472-3111. Go Big Red.
Hurry up, dude. The game's about to start. Nothing beats spending the day watching the game with your buddies. Dude, I'm literally right here. Let's do this. Which is why a shelter insurance renter's policy is key to your winning game plan. It protects things your landlord's policy doesn't.
Dude, where's your TV?
What? Oh, no way, dude. Like that flat screen TV that just got stolen.
See shelter agent Dennis Malloy or Annette Schneider in Bellevue for a free insurance review.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card. Free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hey folks, this is Famous Dave. You know the difference between an ordinary get-together and a famous one? At most parties, the food's pretty forgettable. But imagine your table loaded with award-winning barbecue, chopped pork sandwiches, roasted chicken, and mouth-watering juicy ribs. From birthdays to corporate events, any size groups, we'll customize our menu to fit your budget. Make your next get-together fun and famous with catering from Famous Dave's. Visit famousdaves.com.
Whether you compete on the court, at the track, on the field, or in the fields, winning isn't just a goal. It's a mindset, shaped, honed, and defined throughout the season. That's why farmers pushing themselves to be the best plant DeKalb brand corn. Wherever you compete, winning has roots. Perform at your best with DeKalb. Always read and follow grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
Back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres. It's the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you for a couple more minutes here on a Tuesday night show, 402-413-2400. Something I would like to do when we're over in Dublin, but I don't think I'm going to have time. I'd like to go play golf. I'd like to go play
Yes,
around
that's
over there.
absolutely. It's got to be on the bucket list.
I just don't know that we'll have time while we're there, but
we will find some time.
even if I could just go play 9 holes on one of the links courses.
Yeah,
I think that'd
they
be
have
fun.
some great courses that are in Dublin that I think we'll figure it out.
Well, we're going to be busy. We're going to be doing Sports Alley from over there. We're going to get ready for the game. And, as people say, and even Mark Whipple said last night, it'll be a good trip if we win. I mean, it's a big football game with it being a conference game with Northwestern. There's a lot on the line. I would love to go over there and play. And watching the guys practice today at the Open, which is at St. Andrews, which is in Scotland but not in Ireland. But kind of maybe wish I could take some clubs and go play while we're over there.
They're easily, if anybody is listening in and thinking about doing that too, they have a lot of options to rent clubs over there too. So if you don't want to travel with your clubs, you can always rent over there. Because that was one of the things we were going to do when we were going over there in August, and they had clubs available. But
you can rent them. And
So
I was at one of my 4th of July events I went to. Was one of the folks who works at the Alumni Association. They do a great job. They're taking a huge group over there, and they're going like 7-8 days in advance. So I think one of the days they're giving their people a chance to go play golf while they're over there.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the things. The thing about Dublin and Ireland is the weather is so unpredictable. It could rain every day, and then they said this, if you wait 5 minutes, it'll change. So you never know. You might be, if you're planning on golfing, you might get hit by some rain, but the courses are absolutely beautiful. There's some world-renowned courses that if you want to travel a little ways, you can see some of the best golf courses in the world, but then also you can stay right there in Dublin and get to some great courses too.
Andrew and Tim's friend Debbie called earlier. She's still debating whether to go to Ireland or not. And, if you're going to go, you need to go for you shouldn't just go for 2 or 3 days. You need to go because of the time change and how far it is over there. You need to go 5 or 6 days. And I know that's more expensive. I get all that. But if you want to go take in a foreign country and wrap a Husker football game around it, I don't know that there'll be ever another time to do that, the two things together.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of neat things to do out there, a chance to experience, different country, and I think and then the importance of the game. And I know they're going to have a big pep rally the day before, and they said when Notre Dame went out there, it was just absolutely phenomenal up and down the streets in Dublin, because not only are the fans that travel a part of the teams, but then also Ireland fans, they're such rabid sports fans of anything and everything that they all will be up and down and everywhere. And, I just can't get enough of the Ireland accents either.
I love it. Isn't that great?
33,000.
I think I'm a little surprised, Jessica, how excited the players seem to be.
Absolutely. Yeah, they really are. And a chance to experience a new country and do something that they've never done. And I've seen a few things about people saying, some distractions, because it's scheduled like a bowl game. And so there's going to be events that the players attend, but it's not like Nebraska's the only one doing it. Northwestern is a part of it too.
That's right.
So, you got to, which team's going to handle it better, but it's not like Nebraska's going to go over there and be the only team that's going to have things to do outside of practice. But it's a great experience for these guys. And already, how many times have you talked to guys, if I talked to guys that they know the importance of this game, as excited as they are for the experience, the opportunity, they know how important this game is too.
Well, and hopefully you get some of the fun out of the way on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then you lock it in and get ready to play by Saturday night over there, Saturday midday here.
Who knows? They won't be going to classes, obviously. I'm sure they'll have some academic advisors there, and they'll be doing some classes, but a lot of times when you're here, a lot of them go to class from 8 a.m. to noon, or actually go to class after practice. Have practice, and then they have classes all day, so you won't have as much of that over there.
All right, good show tonight. Great to hear from Mike Dawson. We're going to hear from him again in a couple of weeks because he does both the defensive line and the edge rushers and outside backers, so we'll get into that group later. Tomorrow night, Mickey Joseph. Boy, you talk about a transformation that wide receiving room has gone through since the November game with Iowa. It is a massive transformation. Can't wait to dive into his group and see what he has, what his thoughts are, as we're just a couple of weeks out from the start of fall camp. So that's coming your way tomorrow night. And we'll hear from Caitlin Ward, who is the new volleyball player, the transfer from Penn State. She's here. Going to hear from her tomorrow night on the show as well. Our Sports Nightly Hotline brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto family. Shop Woodhouse first. 18 brands, 16 convenient locations. Simplified car buying to save you time. Shop, finance, buy online at woodhouse.com. Thanks to Cole, Tim, and Andrew stop by. Happy birthday to Mike Elliott. Have a great night. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
There is no place like Nebraska, and there's no place that treats you like home like Sapp Brothers. For 50 years, Sapp Brothers has fueled America's heartland and been a reliable partner to local farms and Husker fans across Nebraska, providing the highest quality fuel, lubricants, and propane, servicing your farming equipment and welcoming guests into their travel centers. Visit www.sappbros.net. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Husker Athletics.
Greetings, Husker Nation. This is Nebraska football running back Ramir Johnson, and I challenge you to join me and all my teammates for the Sunday, July 17th, Nebraska football road race to benefit pediatric brain cancer. Not only can you help race for a cure by registering for the 1 mile or 5K, you will get to meet the Huskers and be eligible to win Huskers football tickets and exclusive prizes. This is one of my favorite events, and I can't wait to see you on Sunday, July 17th on Stadium Drive. Register now by going to huskers.com/road race. Go Big Red.
If there's one thing that you can count on every spring, it's that we're going to have to deal with some hail. J-Tech Construction is the company to call to make it right again. J-Tech Construction specializes in siding, roofing, windows, and gutters, even solar. They're trained for insurance claims assistance, and they can help with your insurance company. Turn to the team the Huskers turn to, J-Tech Construction. Use your favorite search engine to find J-Tech Construction online and schedule a free estimate today.
As the Huskers head to halftime, Frank is off the couch and headed for the fridge. Ooh, but he can't make it because he's so hot. The air conditioning is out again. But wait, he sees an opening. SOS! SOS, he screams and calls 391-2336. SOS Heating and Cooling, his favorite Luxair dealer. Boy, he made the right call today as SOS is already on the way. SOS is your trustworthy company since 1950, and with Luxair, you get free 10-year labor warranty with the new system. Call 391-2336